There is so much music out in the world today. We have pop, J-pop, R&B, jazz, country. But nowadays you don't see much, or hear actually, much classical music. Hell, classical music, in a sense, hasn't been made for centuries upon centuries. And that's especially prevalent when it comes to games, because maybe in the fancy ones you hear some classical music, but it's always a little different. In Musaic Box, and yes, I know that does sound like something that gets rid of phlegm, Musaic Box takes the classical music and it makes it into a puzzle game. And that puzzle game is something that I've not really seen before, and I love when I don't see mechanics in other games before. It makes me feel like there's new stuff in the world, and that's hard to come by. Unfortunately, Musaic Box also has a few problems, but we'll get to that. We will get to that. So, Musaic Box comes in two parts. The gameplay, that is. The first part is hidden object, find them kind of game, where you need to find pieces of paper. Don't mind the sparkly things, by the way. You need to find pieces of paper to fill out the puzzle that you are going to puzzle then later, which is the second part. In the top left corner of your screen, you can see rooms and numbers in them. In this room that we are in now, there are 9 pieces of paper that need to be found. In the other one, there's 0, because you kind of have to do that in order to move on to the next room, as games usually are. So, let's try and find some pieces of paper. And as you can already tell, there were glowing spots. So, I've been taking a bit of time, and they showed me where some things are. So, let's open that up. Look, we found a little circle. Well, not a circle, but we found some paper. Hey, and we now have a piece of paper for Old MacDonald Had a Farm. Not sure if that classifies as classical music, but we'll take it. So your main goal is to get the pieces of paper, fill out the puzzle that you're going to fill out, and then complete the puzzle. Simple game loop, pretty decent puzzle, but again, we'll need to figure out... we'll need to find paper to get to those puzzles. Now, if you want to look at this puzzle, we'll get to that in a bit. I want to get to that puzzle in a bit, as in these have been solved, that one hasn't been. This comes back to the part where this game has some problems, but we'll get to that. Let's go find more puzzle pieces. Well, no, more paper pieces. See, that one's been filled out now. I need that. I need that horn next to the cowbell to complete a thing, because not everything is just point and click. Some things you need to fix. This thing, as you can see, the red, not red color, but the reading red, says that looks like a strange device, but it's obviously missing some parts, so we have to find those parts. Also, there's a broken CD right over here, and if we piece together that CD, we can inevitably figure out what's going on. Okay, click on that. We got another piece. Paper. Check. We got another thing to do. Turn on the light there and move that. Oh, there's some stuff right there. Wonderful. Now, what else am I missing? Oh, bit of that. Oh, I put that in the projector so I can later use it. I know there's something there. Ah! That goes to that. Ah, now we can move that. That gets pushed down. That gets turned on. That gets that. And we can do this for another piece of a puzzle. So basically, the early part of this game is hidden object. I'm not terribly fond of hidden object, unless it's Where's Waldo. Where's Waldo is the quintessential finding hidden object game, because it mixes It mixes the fun of what you're looking at to the detail there is. And when I see hidden object games like this, where it's just a plain screen with that looks pretty, this is very pretty looking, but it's dull pretty looking. Okay, if you find a Where's Waldo, or Wally for you Brits, that is exciting to look at. Even if you haven't found Waldo yet, you are seeing so much stuff. Also, to look up Find Freddy. That's an old one. I actually have his book somewhere in my room. I'm also missing one piece of paper, and I'm guessing it's got to do with the machine here. Let's fix that up finally, and hey! Okay, so now there's no more pieces of pieces of paper in this puzzle room. But we didn't fill out any ones yet, so they're probably in another room, which means we have to do this. Now, this is where things are going to take a turn in this review very drastically. This is the second part of this game. The puzzle block glyph matching sound thing, and I'm moving my hands wavily when I say sound. This is the meat of the game that I absolutely love. I love this part of the game. I don't know if I've seen this kind of mechanic before. And before I show you, I want to point something out, that this game is broken. This is a broken game. It is an old broken game, so it will not be fixed, more than likely, unless someone very, very smart jury-rigs something up, or finds the original source code, because the people I think that made this don't exist anymore, because the original place where this game was hosted is no more, and that's kind of what happens sometimes with old Flash game sites that don't get enough traffic, they have to shut down, yada yada yada. The world works terribly. This game has not been fixed in years, and that's very apparent when we go for this. There's supposed to be sound playing here, and this is a sound puzzle game. Now, granted, this is the only one I've run into in the entire thing that I've played, because I've played this entire game before. This is the only one I've run into that is mute. So I'm going to have to bullshit my way through this puzzle before I can show you actually good puzzles here, okay? Mind me for a minute. Before anything, I would like to apologize right now. This game is more broken than I thought it was. And while I don't do this a lot, I'm still going to show you this video. There are things in this game that are brilliant. There are things in this game that are very, very brilliant, but this game is very, very broken. For some reason, I don't know if it's me, I don't know if it's the computer, or the place I'm getting this from, but after I solved the first thing, I kept going, and there's no sound. There's no nothing. I've tried to find a puzzle that had sound. And I didn't want to do the early ones because they were too simple. But I'm going to have to go back and do some of the simpler ones to show you how this works. Just to make sure that you, the people that are watching this, know that in games that are broken this bad, there are still things to be taken away from it. I want people to see this video and go, that's a cool mechanic, I want to take that and put it in something else. That is why I'm continuing to show you this video. Because if this game had nothing to show, I would have moved on and gone to a different game that worked. but I still think this thing has potential. Had potential. It's so broken. Okay. Let's start this again, then. The second part of this game is the absolute brilliant little thing that is the block/rune puzzle placement tile set game. This is a game based on music, and each of these tiles have runes, and each rune has a specific music note melody going through it. At the bottom here, we have the start of our puzzle. We click it, and we will start to hear music playing. Yankee Doodle might not be a classic, but it's what we got. So what we now have heard is part of Yankee Doodle. And each rune, since each rune symbolizes an instrument that is playing in Yankee Doodle, we need to now click on the pieces. Now you hear it. Now you have to match it up to where you heard it on the music. It'll be there. It will probably be here in the front. So it can go in any of these tile slots in the front. We'll put it there for now. We need to think of the other ones. Now, there are rules to this tile set, because we have colors also matching. See, we have blue, green, and some yellow. If we take... Let's see if I can break this 1 second. I mean, it's already broken, but let's try and break it a tiny bit more. If we do that, we cannot have the same color on the same up and down line. Diagonal is fine, horizontal is not. So that does not fly. So that means... Whoop, we accidentally clicked on that. What that means is that we know that no more red here can be placed in the same tile set as this. So that while this can go anywhere, there cannot be any more red underneath of it. Which means... we need to find what goes here. That was a lucky guess, by the way. So that goes there, and that's how it starts. It sounds right. And that is what this game mechanic does. It is both puzzle and sound that goes with it. So we need to continue. This is a big old 4 long piece. That, I think, goes over here. Yeah, so that... Yeah, so that can go here, which means a 4 long piece has to go here. Alright, there's the ending. So now, since that doesn't go there, now, let's figure out more of the placements. We have the start of it. This has to go here because that's all, only the red and the green and yellow go there. Since there's a whole bunch of red on this thing, let's listen to it. I think, since that's the most distinct one, we'll put that here, and that would have to go there, which means that goes there. And wait for it, here's the music! Wonderful. That is the game mechanic that I think makes this game a little bit worth playing and seeing how it works. Because if you can see how it works, you can take it and use it. This game is broken. This game is hella broken, and I don't think it will ever be fixed. It is probably scattered somewhere around a better version than I'm going to link in the description. And yes, I will be linking this in the description below, because maybe somehow someone else can play it otherwise. I don't know. I've played this game before on this exact same computer, and it worked perfectly. Granted, that was years ago. I have no idea why this isn't working now. It might just be a future broken game that can never be fixed. But let's not forget it just because of that. My name has been Dark Arts, and hopefully you can use this to some extent in a game you are creating, or you just enjoyed watching me suffer through some wrong choices. But nevertheless, it's still an interesting game.